this is Jackie from Bronx Baubles, and I'm back with another exciting video. Today's video is on my collection. I'm bringing you in for a sneak peek at my Bangles, Bracelets, and Cuffs collection. And I'm also going to show you how I store it and display my vast collection of bangles, bracelets, and cuffs. So, without further ado, let's get this video started. I want to start off by sharing with you the difference between a bangle, a bracelet, and a cuff. A bangle is something similar to what this is, where there's a complete circular enclosure that you have to put your hand through in order for it to be considered a bangle. And then you have this example, and this is a cuff, where your hand can go right through it like this, versus a bangle, which your hand has to go through it, and a bracelet like this one that has a little tie to close it up. And that, my friends, is the difference between a bangle, a bracelet, and a cuff. My next bracelet that I want to show you are these fabulous lucite bracelets, and I've had these for a good 15 years. This bracelet right here is in the shape of an alligator, and it has these gorgeous, great designs on it. Inside you see almost like a leather print, or they want to simulate it as if it was an alligator. And then it comes with this matching other bracelet that has, I guess, almost like a snake motif. And these two bangles together make a fabulous pair. You can wear them on each side of your hand, just like this. And this is one of my favorite bangles. I love these so much. This is one of my favorite bangles because this bangle is in the style of an aluminum foil. This is actually a sterling silver cuff that's made in Israel. But when you look at it, it looks like a crumbled up piece of aluminum foil that some maybe kid did in a summer camp project and made a bangle out of it. And I love the idea of having something that looks ordinary and cheap and something that you just pull out of your cupboards that's really actually more high fashion. This is one of my favorite cuffs. I bought this literally, I would say 25 to 30 years ago. This cuff is made by a very famous company called Nardri, and they're known for making these brilliant rhinestones that look like diamonds. This is a type of jewelry that mimics fashion high-end. I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite cuffs to wear. Here are two other bracelets and bangles. This is a bangle made in an egg yolk bake-like design. Now, I purchased this after seeing the Apfel movie, where she had a whole bunch of these and she bought them on the streets of New York City. This is exactly where I bought this. And the lady who sold the bracelets to Apfel was the same lady who sold me this with the matching necklace and earrings. And I just think the color on this, it has that like egg yolky saffronish color that I tend to gravitate towards. Here's another one of my favorite bracelets. Now, this bracelet I recently bought maybe a few months ago, and I think I paid around $7.99, under $10. And I was so excited to get this because this is from a designer that I do not have in my collection. So it's always nice to get a designer that you don't already have. And this one is from Guy Leroux. It's done in a green enameling, and inside has this puzzle-like design, and then the back has this gorgeous black noir. What I really found fascinating about this designer is that this is the same designer that created one of my all-time favorite men's cologne back in the 1990s, and it was Dracar Noir. Oh my God, all the frat boys on campus would wear it, and it used to drive me bananas. Loved it so much. Here's two really fun bangles that I really enjoy having in my collection. This one has all these gorgeous different color heart motifs, and this one has almost like a confetti design, and together they make a really handsome pair. I love plastic jewelry. It's something that I didn't like before. I was always into that sparkly, glitzy, glamorous jewelry, but now I'm really gravitating to some of the plastics. This book here, and it's called Plastic Bangles. Leave the information on this book in my description, and they have a lot of really cool, amazing pictures, and they explain the difference between lucite, plastics, celluloid, and bakelite. And so I'm gonna do a video on plastic jewelry. So look out for that video in the near future. It's gonna be one of my latest videos that I'll be bringing out to you guys. My favorite bangle that I recently bought at the New York City flea market on 23rd Street, I believe it is. And this was purchased last month, I want to say. And it's this gorgeous. It's a beautiful plastic bracelet, and it has a lot of weight to it, and it has this funky swirly design, and it's sort of, you know, mod and mid-century. But what I really love the most is the fabulous tangerine color. I just love this color. I gravitate to anything that has this sort of shade to it. Here's another bangle that I really love. This one is in the shape of lips or labios. Anyway, this is such a fun piece, and is made with a lightweight plastic. It's not really expensive, I don't believe, but it has these beautiful rhinestones. Really reminds me of is that Schiaparelli pink. Totally see her Schiaparelli designing a piece like this, a la Pablo Picasso, who she did some of her designs after. I went to the Nassau County Museum, and it just so happens that they had an exhibit on Iris Apfel. This is where I discovered my love affair with Iris Apfel. And she is just an amazing, she's iconic. I didn't know who she was when I went to the museum that day, and I discovered her amazing wardrobe. But what I really loved more than anything else was her jewelry. And so you can imagine how delighted and excited I was when they displayed this bangle in her collection, and I happen to have the same bangle at home, and that just solidified my love for Miss Iris Apfel. This bangle here is made with beetles, real live beetles, and it's lucite. Has that nice heavy feel. Lucite, you can always tell lucite because it's translucent versus plastic, which could be in many colors. And then the bakelite. The bakelite has so many deep, rich colors. And then there's celluloid. That's flammable and not as desirable, I guess you can say. And that is made to look like ivory. So that's just a quick tips on how to tell the difference between plastic, bakelite, lucite, and celluloid. Always liked a little bit of whimsy in my jewelry, and I discovered this recently at a thrift store, and I bought it for like 99 cents. And what I love about it is that it has this magnetic quality, and it's one of these bracelets that you can buy in pieces. Unfortunately, there weren't more pieces at the thrift store, but as you can see, it comes apart, completely, utterly apart. This cuff has more of a sentimental value to me because when my father passed away, I sat in my solitude and I asked him, please, Dad, show me something that I know when I see it that you're with me. I knew that Spirit sends you signs, and I was looking for a sign for my dad. And the moment that I said that, there was a dime on the floor, and I picked it up and I said, how many times do you find dimes on the floor? And I was like, I can't remember ever finding a dime on the floor. So I felt that that was my sign, because it would never just ordinarily happen on a routine day. Okay, Pops, every time I see a dime, I know it's you. And can I tell you, I find dimes everywhere. I find them on the floor. I find them, you know, in the grass. I find them in my pockets. I find them at the end of in my purse. I find them underneath my pillow. I found dimes so many places, and even my daughter has taken to finding these dimes. And friends of mine that I've told this story to, they find dimes and they say, look, Jackie, a dime, it's your dad. And so I always know that he's looking out for me because, you know, how many times will you ever find these dimes? And I literally find them everywhere. And so I know my dad is always looking out for me. When I found this bracelet made with dimes, I just had to buy it, because for those days when I need a little bit of a boost, when those days when I'm feeling a little bit down and I need that fatherly hug, I always take to this cuff and I put it on, and I know the dimes tell me and remind me he's here with me. And on the motif of my dad used to fly birds on the roof of our house in the Bronx, and he was a huge avid bird lover. He loved birds his whole life, and he actually had, at the age of 18, when he was in the army for the Korean War, he was stationed out in Hawaii, where he got 2 tattoos of doves on his chest. And so he was always a lover of birds. So sometimes when I find jewelry that has birds on it, I always seem to gravitate towards them. And so that's what this is. These are plastic, big nodule plastic birds. This is another beautiful piece of jewelry that I just absolutely love. This is a cuff made by Rodrigo Atuzu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is such an amazing cuff. And inside has these stones that to me reminds me of dragon breath stones. They're actually all glass cabochon dragon's breath type stones in this huge cuff. Here's the emerald green version of the golden dragon's breath version. Now this designer happens to be the designer that designed jewelry for Sex and the City. He created her iconic Sarah Jessica Parker's character, Carrie, an iconic bracelet that she wore in the movie Sex and the City 2, and it just catapulted him into larger fame. I found this green box at the thrift store for, I think, 79 cents. Inside this box was a Christmas ornament, but instead I put my bracelet inside, and I think it's a fabulous place to put this bracelet. You know, when you're looking at containers and places to put your jewelry, think a little outside the box, and I'm going to share with you some of the different containers that I use, the different bracelet displays in my collection. I'm always looking out for containers for my jewelry, and so I saw this container and I just happen to love this color so much. This is such a fern, sage, just a naturalistic looking box, and I just loved it, and I knew that I was going to be able to use it for my jewelry. And what I believe was in here is herbal garden. I believe there's tea that came in here, but what I put in here now is my glass bangle collection. Very, very careful of these glass bangles that come in different shades of colors. I just love that sound of the clanging of glass. I'm sure it might irritate some people, but I love the sound of it. And so to protect these glass bracelets, I put it in this box so that nothing would happen to them. And since there's more space, and space is at a premium living in New York, I store my jade bangles in there as well. And these are beautiful, beautiful glass and jade bangles. Another container that I use to put my jewelry is a container like this. Now, when I saw this at the thrift store, it was, I think, $2 or $3.99, and it just was a beautiful silver etched box. And so, as I always said, the outside sometimes tells you what's in the inside. And it had this nice little velvet, so it was perfect for jewelry. And I store these beautiful Italian bracelets. I have 1, 2, 3. These Italian bracelets are stunning. I love them so much. What I love to do sometimes is wear these jingle jangle charm bracelets like that, you know. And it makes a lot of noise, so you have to be careful where you wear them to. Another thing I look out for are designer containers like this one. Each and every one of these boxes I got at the thrift store for under $1.99 or 99 cents or something like that. These containers, whenever I see them, I purchase them right away because they're great to put your jewelry collection. Since I have a Kate Spade jewelry collection, these are great containers to put them in. This container happens to have my lucite collection, and I think I showed this in one of my other videos. It's a 1970s, you know, lucite bangle that I love so much. And here's another lucite bangle. Getting containers like this helps preserve them so that they are pristine. And so look out for these designer containers. I see them all the time at the thrift stores, so I always scoop them up when I find them. When you find these boxes at the 99 cents Dollar Tree store and things like that, make sure you scoop up a couple of them because they're great containers to put your jewelry collection in. So I wanted to bring you over to this section of my bedroom because this is where I house a lot of my bangle collection, and it's right here. Now, as you can see, I tried to put my bangles collection in very similar designs and function. And so this is a really great brass and semi-wood studded bangles. And I love them so much. I found this thingamajig at the thrift store. And I remember I picked it up and put it in my cart. And the lady came up to me and she says, you know, I was wondering why anybody would have any purpose of buying that. And then you come along and you put it in your cart. Why would you need to buy that item? Like, what would you use it for? And I said, oh, well, I have an extensive bangle collection. And so I'm gonna put all my bangles in there. She goes, wow, I would have never thought that. And that's a great idea. Now, I have no idea what this is really used for, but that's what I use it for. I also love things that are made with lucite and plastic, and so I found these lucite bangle holders, and I think that they work really, really beautifully to accentuate your bangle collection. And I bought several of these, and I'm so excited that I was able to use them. Another interesting way to display your bangles is in a cactus tree like this. I purchased this at TJ Maxx several years ago, and I knew exactly what I was going to use it for. I was going to use it as my bangle collection holder, and there were 2 of them, and I wish there were more, because if there were more, I probably would have purchased all of them because I knew I had a large bangle and jewelry collection. And I think it's wonderful because look at how colorful that tree is, and it does a really fine job of displaying my bangles. Another place that I store my bangles are in containers like this. It's a purse that I might not use. I just love the idea that it has that sense of whimsy, and so I was able to put in more bangles hidden in this house. These are plastic containers that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I believe they come either 1 or 2 per packet. And inside I have a lot of my enamel bracelets and also some glass bracelets as well. And it's just a nice way to be able to protect them from scratching and scuffing and falling and breaking, collecting dust. That sometimes is a problem with having an open display like this one. I love these little containers, and what I love more than anything is that I can put them in this house And so I'm always looking for ways to store my bangles and jewelry. And so this is a nice, fun, whimsical way to store your bangles, bracelets, and cuffs. So in one of my first videos, I introduced Mono, my monkey bracelet holder. And this is just a really whimsical and fun way to display your bracelets. Now, you guys already know how I love my critters and my creatures, and this guy never fails me. I love Mono. Mono is the keeper of all the jewelry in my room. He watches over all of it. He makes sure that none of it walks away. He's my jewelry spirit monkey, and I love Mono. And he loves to wear jewelry, in particular bracelets. And so he's got bracelets on his paws, bracelets on his hands, bracelets on his tail. He loves to wear jewelry. And so you can always find fun ways of displaying your jewelry. And for me, this is a really whimsical, fun way of displaying these fabulous jewelry. And Mono just loves it. And as long as he loves it, he will be the keeper and the watcher of the jewelry. And so he is the king of my jungle, Mono. One of Mono's rivals is this monkey in training, and his name is Yabo. And he loves to steal the jewelry that Mono likes to watch over. And so Mono has his job cut out for him, because this little guy is a thief. This is a really fun way of displaying some of your jewelry. You don't have to always get the typical jewelry stands. These are just, decorative accent pieces that I use as part of the props for my jewelry. I have a lot of decorative accents in my home. And in my home, sometimes these decorative accents also double up as my jewelry holders. And so here are two just beautiful cranes that I keep in my bedroom. And around their necks, I put sometimes the jewelry that I wear for the day. I just take it off and put it right over their necks. And they seem to love wearing it. So always look for just these fun places to put your jewelry, and so you can use your decorative accents as display pieces, and they love it. Trust me, try it. They'll appreciate it greatly. Beautiful wicker basket that's just filled with different styles and different bracelets that I love. So you can find beautiful containers like this to put your beautiful jewelry collection. I happen to like wicker, but you can have another beautiful type accent box made of glass, made of wood, made of plastic, made of anything that you like. So that, my friends, concludes my bracelets, bangles, and cuff collection and how I store and display them. I hope you had just as much fun as I did showing you which display that you like the best. And if you display your jewelry in a special way, because maybe you can show me a new way to display my jewelry, don't forget to subscribe, like, and click the notification bell. I'm so happy to be able to produce this other video for you. I answer all my comments. You guys are awesome with your comments, so keep them coming. I love them, and I love answering them, and I just love that you're a part of this tribe and that I'm building a community of like folks people. I have some great episodes in the makings. I also have some collaborations. So excited at what this channel has been able to give me in such a short amount of time, and I'm just glad that I'm able to have an outlet for this to show and tell the stories of the things that mean a lot to me. And my costume jewelry collection is just one of many facets of things that I like to explore. At this point, I am putting together my book catalog. I have a huge, extensive book collection on jewelry. That's over 100 books so far. I'll do a video on just the books that are in my resources collection. And if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about that, please hit me up. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey of mine. And I love you guys so much. And I'll see you at the next video. Ciao!